It's the 8th summer, and the corner of your living room window has gone gray. Not the outside, not the inside. Somewhere in the middle, behind glass you can't reach. You wipe it. Nothing moves. The haze is sealed inside the pane, and every hot afternoon it spreads a little wider. You paid for the good ones. $14,280, 11 windows, the salesman in the nice polo who called them lifetime. You remember the word, lifetime. So you dig out the folder, find the warranty, and read the sentence nobody read to you at the kitchen table. The seal is covered, parts only, prorated, and only if the original installer files the claim. That installer folded 2 years back. The reglaze quote comes in at $370 a window. 3 have already fogged, with 8 more behind them. You did everything right. You bought the expensive ones. You still lost. And the reason the afternoon sun keeps finding that gray corner is a part the salesman never once said out loud. I'm Hank. I've spent 28 years inspecting and renovating homes. Since 1998, somewhere north of 10,000 of them, and I've pulled more fogged windows out of walls than I can count. Here's what you need to understand before we go one step further. You're not buying a window, you're buying a seal, a frame, and a warranty you'll probably never get to use. The glass is the part they show you. The seal is the part that determines whether any of it lasts. Get that backwards, and the prettiest window on the showroom floor will fog in your living room before the loan is paid off. So today, I'm handing you the 5 checks I run on a replacement window before I'd let it into a house. 5. The frame material, the glass package, and the one part inside it nobody asks about. The rating label and how to read it for your climate instead of theirs. The installation where half of all window trouble actually lives. And the last check, the one that reads the truth straight off the glass and would have caught that gray corner before it ever went in the wall. One honest word about that title first. There's no inspector's secret handshake, and the home inspector's way isn't magic. It's just refusing to look where the salesman points and looking where he walks past instead. Every one of these you can do yourself in the showroom with your own 2 eyes. Let's take them in order. Check number 1. The frame material. This is the carcass, and the carcass sets the ceiling on how long the whole thing can last. Fiberglass sits at the top, and built right, that frame runs 40 to 50 years and then some. It expands and contracts at nearly the same rate as the glass it holds. Same movement, same temperature. Less stress on the seal. Wood kept up will go 30 to 40, and I've measured wood sash in old homes still square past 90. But kept up is the whole sentence. Miss the paint, and water finds it. Vinyl is what most of America buys, and vinyl is where the story splits. A good vinyl frame gives you 20 to 30 solid years, while a cheap one embrittles in the sun and cracks early. There's a Phoenix subdivision on record where 70% of the standard vinyl windows were replaced by year 28, cooked by ultraviolet. Aluminum is the last one. Strong as anything, 20 to 30 years, but it conducts heat straight into your house and bakes on a west wall all summer. So the frame isn't about the color, it's about the exposure. South and west walls that eat sun all day Want fiberglass or a heavy vinyl? Not the builder grade special. Match the material to the wall, not to the brochure. The frame, plain. Check number 2, the glass package. And here I'm going to slow you down, because this is where the money hides. Everybody knows the headlines: double pane or triple pane, low E coating, and argon gas in the gap. All real, all worth having. The low E coating is the one doing the summer work. It's a microscopically thin layer that turns the sun's heat back before it cooks your living room. And it's why a good window can face due west and still keep the room livable in July. Low E and argon together add somewhere around $90 to $185 a window. And in a hot climate, they earn it back at the meter. But here's the part nobody at the counter brings up: the spacer. That thin strip running around the very edge of the glass, holding the two panes apart and sealing the gas inside. Pick up a cheap unit, and that spacer is bare aluminum. Aluminum moves heat about 950 times faster than a warm edge spacer does. That little metal strip is only 10 to 15% of the glass area, and it bleeds close to 30% of the window's heat. Why does that matter for how long it lasts? Because that aluminum strip carries the outside heat straight to the edge of your glass. On a hot afternoon, the sun-baked outer edge runs far hotter than the air-conditioned edge, a half-inch away. And the metal drags that swing across the seal. The edge expands, the glass pulls, the seal flexes. Day after day, summer after summer, that heat works the seal until it gives up. Then the argon walks out, and the gray fog walks in. A warm edge spacer, foam or stainless, breaks that bridge. The edge stops swinging with every hot afternoon. An edge that isn't fighting the heat is an edge whose seal lives. And the gas itself? A good seal loses about 1% of its argon a year. Start at 95% full, and 30 years on, you're still near 80, still working. That's a good seal. A bad seal dumps it in a few summers, and your triple pane wonder is quietly just 3 sheets of glass and a memory. So the argon isn't the hero of this story. The thing holding the argon is. The spacer is the part that determines whether it lasts. Almost nobody asks about it. Now you will. Check number 3, the rating label. Every certified window wears a sticker from the National Fenestration Rating Council. And it's a report card most people never read. 2 numbers carry it. Top left is the U factor, how much heat moves through the glass, and lower is better. It runs from about 1/5 of a point up past 1. But in a hot summer, the number that sets your July electric bill is the second one. The solar heat gain coefficient, 0 to 1, is how much of the sun's heat the glass lets through. The lower it is, the less the sun cooks your rooms, and the less your air conditioning has to fight back. On a west or south wall that eats the afternoon sun, that one low number is worth more than any line in the brochure. Here's the trap. A salesman waves one great number at you and lets you assume it fits your house. It might be a great shady side number that means nothing on the west wall, baking all afternoon. Read the label yourself. Match both numbers to your zone, not to whatever sticker sat in the demo corner. The label doesn't lie, people just don't read it. The fine print out loud. That's 3. Frame, glass, label. If you stopped right there, you'd already buy smarter than most of your street. But the last 2 are the ones the showroom hopes you skip. Number 4 is where half of all window failures actually happen, and it has nothing to do with the window itself. And number 5 is the one I promised you. The check that reads the truth straight off the glass. The one that would have caught that gray corner in the cold open before it cost anybody a dime. Stay with me. Check number 4. The installation. You can buy the best window built and still lose, because the window is only as good as the hole you set it in. There are 2 ways to do this job, and the first is an insert or pocket that drops the new window into your old frame. It's faster, it runs 25 to 50% cheaper, and if your old frame is truly square and dry and sound, it's fine. That's a real if. The full frame job tears everything out, down to the rough opening, and puts in new flashing, tied into the house wrap. That wrap is the layer that actually keeps water out of your wall. Here's what I find when I open these up. A crew in a hurry drops an insert over a sill that's already soft. The old flashing is shot, but nobody looks, because looking means stopping. The new window seals up pretty on the inside. Behind it, the water keeps coming, and now it's hidden behind a window that looks brand new. 3 years on, I'm the one pulling it back out. So ask the question they'd rather skip: full frame or insert, and why. If they can't tell you what shape your old opening is in, they never checked it. And a crew that didn't check the opening didn't earn the wall. Who does the work is half the window. This is skilled work, not a weekend project. So the crew you hire is part of what you're buying. The install version and the showroom version are 2 different products. That's check 4. Now the last one, and it's the one I've held back on purpose. The casual buyer never makes this check. It might be the single most useful thing you can do standing in that showroom. Check number 5. And no check tells you more than this one, because this is the one that reads the truth straight off the glass. Walk up to the window in the showroom and look at the very corner of the pane. On a real certified unit, there's a tiny laser etch in the glass. It carries the name of who actually made the sealed unit, the plant, the year, and a certification mark. That mark means the unit passed a standard called E2190. That's weeks of accelerated aging, baking the unit in heat and humidity, and cycling it hard. And a seal only passes if it still holds its gas and never fogs at the end. Read the spacer too. A serious maker stamps it, and the year is right there in the metal. Now here's why this is the whole ball game. That etch tells you who built the seal and whether it was ever certified. No etch or a spacer that's bare mystery aluminum, and you're looking at a window whose seal nobody stood behind. Then you carry that same corner knowledge to the warranty, and you read the seal clause the way I read it. How many years on the seal? Parts only, or labor too? Does it transfer if you sell? And does the covered window happen to run out right about when a cheap seal predictably fails? Let me tell you about a house in Berwyn, off Ridgeland, back in 2019. Couple in their 60s, windows put in by the prior owner, 3 already fogged. I put my flashlight to the corner. no Surt-etch. The spacer was bare aluminum, no maker on it at all. Then we found the warranty in a kitchen drawer. The dog's vaccination tag still clipped to it. 10 years on the seal, non-transferable, and they'd bought the house in year 9. The window was engineered to fog, and the paper was written to expire before it did. I've seen that same pair of facts too many times to call it bad luck. It's a design, so that's the check. The glass tells you who to trust. The warranty tells you how long they'll stand there. Read them together in the showroom before you sign. That gray corner in the cold open. This is the check that would have stopped it. Now the honest math, because this is where it lands. Go back to those 11 windows. $14,280 fogging at year 8. The better built version of that same window, the one with the warm edge spacer and the certified seal, ran $162 more apiece. Across 11 windows, that's $1,782 more upfront. That's the number that talked them into the cheaper one. Here's what that $1,700 bought them instead. The cheap seals start letting go at year 8. Reglazing runs $370 a window as they fail, one after another, and the whole set is a candidate for replacement inside 20 years. The certified set is built to pass that weeks-long bake and clear year 40 on a single install. Spread that premium over the life it buys. $1,782 across 40 years is about $45 a year. $45 a year to never wipe a gray corner that won't wipe. That's the honest math. The cheap window isn't cheaper. It's just cheaper first. I want to be careful how I put this last part, because there's no villain in a back room. Nobody sat down and decided to fog your windows. It's quieter than that. The spacer got cheaper because a buyer 3 states away had a cost target to hit. The warranty got written by lawyers paid to protect the company, not you. The salesman got paid on what he closed this month, not on what held up for 20 years. Every one of them did the ordinary thing for the chair they sat in. Stack those ordinary choices on top of each other, and what lands in your wall is a window that looks premium, prices premium, and goes quiet a couple years after you stop paying attention. That isn't a plot. That's just what the incentives build when nobody's job is your window lasting. So here's who you are now, walking into that showroom. You're not the person the pitch was built for anymore. You're the one who checks the frame against the wall it faces, who asks about the spacer and watches the salesman blink, who reads the label for your own zip code, asks full frame or insert and why, and puts a flashlight to the corner of the glass before anybody says the word lifetime. You're not buying the logo, you're reading the evidence. That's the whole job. Tell me in the comments what's etched in the corner of your glass, or that there's nothing there at all. That one detail tells me more about your windows than the brand name ever will. And next time, I'm going to show you the one line in a roofing estimate that tells you whether the crew ever set foot on your roof or just your driveway. Same idea, different corner to look in. I'll see you then.